Hello my friends and welcome back to the third part of the movie app. I'm sorry because of the interrupt that we had between the second part and the third part, but I should say, as you know, I'm Iranian, I'm Persian, and the 21st of March is Persian New Year. So it was our New Year holidays and I had 1 week off and I had a short vacation, and now I'm back to you to continue our work on this project, and let's get started. Okay, in the second episode we build this screen, and by clicking on this button uh, we can see the list of movies. 10 movies should be available here in the home screen. And now we want to manage the click event listener, and by clicking on each image, we want to be navigated to the details screen, making a network call, receiving data about the detail of the movie, and display them in the details screen. Okay, here I have the details screen file, and inside of this file I have this composable, and the whole codes regarding to design of this layout are here available. And today I'm going to publish the source code because you were asking. I wanted to publish it at the end when the whole application was done, completed. But today I will publish it in my GitHub, and I will add the source code link in the description of this video as well, and the previous episode. Don't worry, you will have this totally inside the GitHub source, but at the end, I'm going to show you how to set the data on the elements, and I will, let's say, explain line by line or function by function here this screen. I don't want to write the codes regarding to layout design because it's waste of the time. We had a lot of different videos about making layouts using Jetpack Compose in my channel, and you can watch them. Okay, and also if you had any question about this, you can write them down below in the comments and I will answer you. Don't worry. Okay, so here we have this composable, the details screen, and let's go to the nav host and start with adding this composable here in the nav host. Okay, here is the home screen. I'm going to change it to details screen, and the details screen doesn't need this nav controller, and totally let's delete this and details screen, sorry, details screen. Okay, but here we need an ID. Each movie that we are receiving in the home screen has an ID, and when we are clicking on a specific poster of the movie, we know already what is the ID of that movie. We received it, so we will pass it to the details, and by using this ID we will manage a new network call. So here we have to pass this ID. Let's go to the home screen and manage the click event listener. Okay, here is the home screen and lazy vertical grid, and as you can see we have this composable for a single item of this lazy vertical grid. Control and click on it, and here we have item UI. So as you can see here on the card we have a clickable and it's empty, so we have to write the code to use the navigation to go to the next screen. So I'm going to use this nav controller here, dot navigate, and we need the route. So we had details screen. We had a space here or not? Let's check the nav host. Yeah, we had a space here, and it should be like that. Okay. And at the end, a slash, a dollar sign, bracket, and here we had this list, so we should take the ID from this list. So movie list dot, not dot. The item index should be passed here, item index, and now dot ID, the first thing that we had here. Okay, so we extracted the ID and passed it to the route in the nav host. And now in the nav host, we have to extract it and transfer it to the details screen. You remember how we did it in the previous videos that we used this function. So here a bracket, and here ID, and then here a comma, and in the next line argument. What's wrong today? Arguments list of, and nav argument we need a name, and the name is ID, and here type equals to nav type integer type. This ID is integer number. Let's line up everything. Okay, so we extracted the data, put it inside it, and now we can use it here. Okay, so it dot arguments, this it is this return function of this block, and this block belongs to this composable. So the ID through this variable goes here, and you can change it to whatever you want. For example, ID, yeah, and inside of it you can use ID. Okay, ID dot argument dot get integer, and passing the key is ID. Again, null check, and dot let. So if we had a data, we are going to use it here. So again, ID maybe 1, which is the return function of this let block. And if we have any value inside this ID, this value will be passing to this bracket and sitting inside this variable. And now we can cut this and paste it here, and ID 1 will go to the details screen. Okay, so inside of this details screen, now here we have a value for this ID, and we can use it. Let's go to the API interface to manage our network call. Okay, here inside the interface we had this suspend function for the next for the first network call, and we need another suspend function again with get annotation for the second call, which is the details network call. So here we can use the endpoint regarding to the details, movies, and here we should pass the ID. So movie underscore ID. Okay, we have it here. So suspend function, get details by ID. That's a good name for this. And here we should pass this ID to the endpoint. So we need a path, and the same name that we have here, we can copy this and paste it here. And outside of it, we need to pass the ID, which is integer type. And finally, we will get a response. And this response goes to the details. What is this details? This is this data class. And we had it in the first video. I showed you all of the data classes that we need for this video. It's here. Okay. Now let's go one level higher than this API interface, which is the repository, and this repository is connected to the viewModel. So the same. Here we had one suspend function for the first network call, and we need another suspend function for the second network call. Get details by ID again. And inside of this bracket, we should pass the ID here. So ID integer and response goes to details. Okay, here we have a lambda block, and inside it we will receive a return. So retrofit instance dot API dot get details by ID, and the ID equals to this ID. Okay, here everything is done, and let's go to the movie view model. Here we have our view model. Down below we had a data class, and here we had init block to manage the first network call. We cannot use this block because it's not something like opening in the startup, and we want to have it based on click of the user, clicking on the item. So let's create a function. Again, get details by ID, and viewModel scope dot launch, because we want to call suspend functions and we need to use the coroutine. So you can use try catch, and here the catch exception. Let's leave it empty for now. In the next video we will manage the error handling. Here equals to repository dot get details by ID, and we have to pass the ID here. We need a variable for this to store the ID inside it, and let's create it here. A variable ID by mutable integer state of 0. It never stays constantly at 0, but it's like a default value that we have to set on this. Anytime that we need this ID and we are using this ID, it has a new value that user sends to it by clicking on one of the movies. So we will never get error by this. And ID equals to ID. Okay. Now we passed the ID to the repository, and the network call will happen. The response will sit in this response, and we have to extract it. So here, if response dot is successful, we are going to extract the data. Here inside this data class, we need another variable. Let's call it details data, and just like this. This is our data class, and we are passing this received data to this data class. Okay, finally here the data class state equals to state dot copy, and inside of this copy details data equals to response dot body with null check. Control Alt L, line up everything, and simply we receive the data in this response and we pass it to this details data here, and we can use it now through the data class wherever we want. We just need to call this function to launch the process, and we are doing it inside the details screen. Let's go to the details screen, and here on the top we need some variables. Okay, one of them is the viewModel. viewModel equals to viewModel, not this, but this. viewModel and parentheses. That's it here. In the next line, let's pass the ID into this viewModel. So viewModel dot ID equals to ID. And in the next line, let's call the function to launch the network call. So viewModel dot get details by ID. And let's tell you something. You can also pass the ID here as well, and inside of the viewModel here, add a variable like ID integer and use this ID here simply. But I prefer to have separated variable here. Let's click Ctrl Z to have the thing that we had. Okay, so the network call is done now, and we should extract the data. So we need another variable for the state equals to movie view model dot state, and last but not least, a value calling it details equals to state dot details data. Okay, all of the data that we received is inside these details now. Let's check it. Okay, here is the banner screen. Clicking on the getting, we have the movies. Let's click on one of them, and here we have the details, and everything works like a charm. Now let's see what do we have inside this details screen. We are using the poster of the movie as the background, and as you can see, on the top is shiny, on the bottom is like darker, and in the very bottom backside of these images we have a box with dark gray color, and in the foreground we have another image, the same. Below of the image on the bottom it's a box with dark color, and on the top is light color. So we have a gradient, vertical gradient. Let's start with these two images. Let's see what do we have. Totally we have a box, and the alignment of the objects inside the box is top center. Fill max size. Inside of this box we have some functions, and finally a column, a text, and some more functions are here. We have two functions for background poster and foreground poster. Let's go to the background poster. Here down below we have it. We pass the details data inside it. We have a box here inside it, and the box is fill max size. The background color of the box is dark gray, because here the image occupies the part of a screen, depends on the size of the image, and down below the rest of the screen should be a color compatible to the images, so I choose the dark gray. Then we have the async image, a normal image. This is the variable inside the data class, the poster, that holding the image. So details.poster, and here as the content description I use the title of the movie, because we need a string value only. In a modifier, fill max width, and the alpha of it is 60%. We don't want it to be shiny like this foreground image. Then on top of it we have a box. The box has a vertical gradient. I use the brush and two colors. On the top, transparent. On the bottom, dark gray. So from the top to the bottom, it goes from transparent to dark gray. And the shape of it is rounded corner shape, and that's it for this background poster. Then here we have the foreground poster. We used everything almost the same. We have a box for the whole image with this sizing and with the rounded corner shape, and inside of the box we have async image. Again, we use the poster and the details, and the sizing is like this now. On top of this we have a box and the same brush for the background color and vertical gradient. But here I used 2 times transparent and 1 time this color. Let's click on it and see it. It doesn't open, I don't know why. As you can see it here is let's say something like here, a very dark gray. So down below is dark gray, in the middle is transparent, on the top is transparent, and it goes from bottom to the top, from this dark gray to the transparent, and the result will be this image. Let's go to another movie with like white background. Now you can see it here clearly. On the top is totally white, on the bottom is dark gray, and goes to the top, something like that. And here is like this. Okay, let's go back to the first example. That was everything about these images, and now on the top we have a text. Let's go to the top again. Okay, background and foreground is checked, and we have a column now, and this is the sizing of the column and the arrangement of the items. Then we have a text. This text belongs to this title here, the Shawshank Redemption, for this movie. And down below of this we have a row, and for this I've created a composable, called it rating. I passed the details and a modifier to it. Let's go to the rating. In the rating I have a row. Inside of the row I have icon, text, a spacer, icon, text, a spacer, icon, text. So simple. Icon, text, icon, text, icon, text, and between them we have a spacer. Then down below we have something similar to this. So here we have icon, we have a text, and we have another text. Icon, text, another text. So I used another composable for all this. Let's go to the top. I've created a composable called it text builder. I passed one icon to it, one title, and data from the website, from the API provider. And again, here I've repeated this function. I passed another icon, another title, and here the actors. And let's see what do we have inside. We have a row. Inside of the row we have the icon, and we have a text for the title, and down below of this row we have another text for the body of the part, this long text. Okay, and finally we have image row. Here we have some images, and it's lazy row. Let's check it. Here we have a lazy row. Inside of the lazy row we have items block, and the size of the item is used, and we have async images. But just here we have this if condition, because some of the movies that are inside this API website don't have these images, so you may have error for some of these movies. First, check if inside this details variable you have any image or it's empty. If it's not empty, then manage this lazy row and pass the data into it and display it. And that's everything for the detail screen, and totally everything about this part of the movie app. And in the next video we are going to manage the pagination and the error handling. I hope you liked this video and that was useful for you. If you are new in the channel, please hit the subscribe button and the bell button to be aware about the new videos. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any question, please write them down in the comment box, and I will be so happy to read and answer them. Thank you very much. Have a good time. Bye bye.